this. Hey, welcome to another adventure in old code, the place on the internet where we take a look at old QBasic programs we wrote back in the day, and we laugh and we cry and we cringe, but mostly we just hang our heads in shame at what came out of our brains. Today, I want to take us through the third program in the Combat series written by my brother. We saw Combat 1 long ago. Yesterday we saw Combat 2. Today we're going to see Combat 3, and we'll get to see what awesomeness this is involved with. So let's have a look. All right. Yesterday there was a magic guy and a ninja and a spear throwing guy. I don't know what it's going to be like today. I am going to change some things here, though. I'm going to make this bright white. And I don't care about... There we go. Just notice the text has been a little... whoops. A little bit dull. Oh, and I'm going to get some... Okay, what am I doing? Quick basic. And Combat 3. So I think most of this is going to be very similar to before, and I'm going to just assume here that the characters will change. I already see a new subroutine though. It's called Star. Ooh, Star. That'll be exciting. I want to make sure my, yeah, everything's good. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. Let's just run it, see. Warning, this game contains animated and graphical violence. Of course it does. Yes, yes. This is the magic type guy. Okay, he has more moves, easier controls, looks really cool. Has a throwing star. So this time he's got a throwing star, but he's still magic. And he isn't as strong and has less HP. So the only thing different here is that he's got a throwing star. Okay. The punch, enter is the kick, jump on his head, the poison, and now the asterisk is actually the throwing thing. Huh. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by something else. Okay, so throw star at opponent is the asterisk button, okay? Spear type guy is stronger, has more HP, has a friggin' spear, less moves, and has weirder controls. So it seems like nothing has changed. Where's the people? Okay, they didn't show up until I hit a button. This is the same stuff. I'm going to assume it's just one thing that changed. So let's take my magic guy and throw. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, it's being... Oh, look at that. I threw the star, and it's always going towards the bad guy, which is kind of nice. Now, the flickering is terrible. Because now that something is happening every frame, he's probably clearing the screen and every time. So, okay, let's let this hit the spear guy. Oh my word, it doesn't stop. Okay, eventually it stops. I can throw my spear. Okay, well, that was it. That was kind of weird. So I threw a star and it went slowly towards the guy. So it's not a throwing star. It's a magic star. Some kind of magic thing. But, okay, let's break out of this. And this is actually very different. So the one small change is the star, but in order to accommodate that, he had to not pause for input. And I'll show you what I mean. If we open up the old one, the one we were looking at before, this is without the star. He uses ch string equals input string. And so this waits for a single key press, captures that key press, and then he's got this massive if statement, what to do with that input. But now the star, he wants to continuously move the star even if you don't hit a button. The problem with using the input string command is that execution will stop and wait. We don't want it to stop and wait anymore. We want the star to move towards the guy even if nobody's pressing buttons. So this is why he's changed it to just in key string. Again, in key string is the method that it holds the character of the last button pushed in that cycle. So usually it's nothing, and if you hit a button instantly, in key string contains a value, but then instantly it doesn't. It's just there for a very split second. And so that's what we're doing. Instead of waiting, now we're just seeing if a button was pushed. And if it wasn't null, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So if you didn't hit, no, if it's not null. So if you did hit something, then this is what we do. And it's everything. Everything will be the same that we've already seen, except for the asterisk. Somewhere, this is the poison, and here's a new else if. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So 42, I'm sure that's the asterisk. I mean, what else would it be? There it is. There's the asterisk. So if we hit the asterisk and spin equals 1, what the heck is spin? Then spin equals 2 and tx, oh, okay, we got to go back. Somewhere there's a tx. I'm going to go up. There we go. Ooh, how nice. So what have we got here? I should have gone from the beginning of the program like I always do. The one thing that we haven't seen is the star. This draws the star. So he goes up 3 and what is that? Up and to the right 1. And he does all this drawing thing and he gets the star. So that's the star sprite. Then he's going, so throw is 0. That's the spear guy's throw, the flag, whether he's thrown it or not. Spin is 1. Okay, now we've never seen spin before. Presumably this is the thing that the star uses, which we saw below. And then D is the square root of the difference of the x coordinates squared and the difference of the y value squared. So this is Pythagoras. A squared plus b squared, and then you take the square root to find the hypotenuse. So using the X and Y values of the two opponents, you can actually tell the distance between them. And that's what this is. And that's D. Okay. And then TX and TY are the, I'm going to guess the XY coordinates of the star, because that's the new thing. Then we show the warning and we do all this stuff. Okay, yeah, if you want to know about any of this other stuff, you can go back and look at episode 80 and 81, where we do an in-depth dive into this program. Okay, so now let's go back down. Now somewhere, okay, this is probably why we didn't get the people showing up right away, because we're waiting for input, and only if input is not empty, then we're going to actually put the guys. And so if it's not empty, we're going to skip. If it is empty, so we haven't pushed a button, we're going to skip all of this. All of this gets skipped. All of this only happens if a button was pushed. All of it. There's the end if. And we don't actually, yeah, so we never get the guys put anywhere. Okay, I'm going to go up. That was a lot of screens. Okay, so where am I here? We've hit the asterisk, which was 42. There we go. So if we hit asterisk and spin equals 1, now spin starts off as 1. So this is if the star isn't spinning, I guess. Then what you're going to do is set it to 2, and you're going to update the XY value. Basically, the position of the star gets updated to the position of the magic guy, which makes sense because the star is always going to come from the magic guy's body. And that's it. That's all you do. You just set spin to 2 and update the position of the star. All of this is the same. Like, I can't imagine this is any different. This is different, however. If poisoned equals 1, then the health of the bad guy is reduced by 0.05. In the Combat 2, it was 0.5. So that's interesting. So the poison is less effective this time around. Okay. If spin is not 2, so you haven't thrown the star, clear the screen and put the guys. Okay. So he's made some intelligent decisions here. He realized that, so this is the end of the if statement if input wasn't empty. So what follows it will always happen. Oh, but it's another if statement. So regardless if you've pushed a button or not, if spin equals 2, if the star is being thrown, then clear the screen and put the 2 guys. And if spin equals 2, yeah, spin, guess what? Spin is going to be 2 here because we're only in this if statement because spin was 2. Then put the star, draw the star at its coordinate system. Okay. So I think up here, he didn't want to, he checked for not equal to 2. Otherwise, if it equals 2, then he's clearing the screen, putting both guys, immediately clearing the screen and putting both guys again. And he knew that's not what he didn't want to do. And so, okay, he made a check there. This is funny, though, because now if spin equals 2, see, there's no reason why this, like, this didn't have to be here. He could have gotten rid of this and this. That's the same condition. If it's equal to 2, just keep on doing what you're doing. But no, he's got 2 different if statements. And they both have the same condition. Okay, so this is where we're going to get some trigonometry. So if spin is equal to 2, so the star is currently getting thrown, we're going to calculate the rise. Oh, no. So you're going to calculate the rise and you're going to calculate the run. But because run is a special magic keyword in Quick Basic, he couldn't use run. You can't use those as variable names. So the variable name he chose was run with 2 n's. That's great. So the rise is the difference between the bad guy and the throwing star's y values. And the run is the difference between the spear guys and throwing star's x coordinates. Then we're calculating the distance once again. And that's curious. So he's got put the throwing star I'm a bit confused because oh, I see. So he's yeah, he's got all these if statements. This is where he's actually putting the throwing star. And so he had it originally in this if statement, but he realized he didn't need it in both places, so he commented this one out. So this doesn't actually happen. I think I can okay, now we're going to, oh boy. So he wants to move the star towards the spear guy. And why does he do rise divided by d? So normally, if you had your rise and your run, because he's trying to move it 1 unit only. He wants to move it a little bit. So let's say your rise was 50 and your run was 10. We want to move it in the direction oh yeah, that actually makes sense. Divided by d. Let's use a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So if you're 4, if your rise is your 4 and your run is 3, then your distance is 5, but you don't want to move 5. You want to move So D is 5, and so every time through the loop, you're going to take that 5, and your rise divided by 5 is 4 divided by 5 is 0.8. So you'd move, well, this in this case down, positive is down. You move down 0.8, and then you'd move to the right 0.6 every time through the loop. And I don't know why he's got a 1 here, but I suspect he was trying to, he was playing with different values. I mean, you don't need to multiply it by 1. Anyway, okay, that's interesting. He's trying to find a small value to move by. Okay, and then he's going to wait 150. We're going to increase that because our computer's faster than his was. Now, if the integer value of the throwing star's x-coordinate is equal to the spear guy's x-coordinate, tx can be all sorts of values, right? It can, I mean, decimal places galore, because you're dividing by a number here, and you're taking the square root here, and so it's going to have a lot of decimal places. The spear guy's x-coordinate is not really going to change into decimal places. It's going to be, multiples of 30 only. So when you compare them, you have to convert the throwing star's x-coordinate into an integer so you can compare them up. The problem here is that I think this is where you get, if the throwing star is, say, at 399.6, and the bad guy, I keep calling him the bad guy, the spear guy's x-coordinate is 400, then you're going to convert the throwing star from 399.6 to 400, no, to 399. And then you're going to compare, and they're not going to be the same, but the next time you add or update the throwing star's position, you might not get it right at 400, so it might wobble back and forth. And I think that's what we were seeing. But anyway, if this does happen, and if you are, if you do get hit by the star, then you beep. Now, I think we can't hear beeps in DOSBox. So let's just play an 8th note. Spin is now back to 1, and your hit points get decreased by 6. So that's fine. And then you loop until one of you is dead. And you do all that, and you do all that, and everything's back to normal. So, okay, let's actually do something, because I want to see. I'd love for this thing not to flicker all over the place. But that was kind of his trademark when he wrote these things. Let's also print D. D is the distance between the, well, initially, before I throw a star, it'll be the distance between the starting positions of the two characters. After the star is thrown, D will be the distance between the star and the spear guy. So let's have a look at that. Okay, I have to play that. Oh, no. Yes, I want the sound on. All this stuff. Now it's not doing anything because I haven't input buttons. D is showing up as 0. That's interesting. Okay. I'm going to throw this star. And gosh, it's so flickery. I don't know if you can tell that, but it's at 349, 256 I saw. That's... You see, it's wobbling back and forth. Okay, so a couple of things. There we go. Let's see if we can't fix this a little, just a little bit. I mean, we're done. We're pretty much done, but I want to try and make this a little more palatable for our eyes. Yes, that's a phrase. Palatable for our eyes. When the star is thrown, please don't clear the screen. Just don't clear the screen when the star is thrown. Spin equals 2. Do not clear the screen. What we're going to do is... I guess we can have... Well, here, let's do this. Get rid of these two things. This is the same if statement. Before we update ty and tx, let's old ty equals ty, old tx equals tx. Then we'll calculate the new ones. We don't need this if statement. We'll just always put this thing. But we will... I mean, we could just draw a box, right? What was the star? The star was a 30 by 30 box. Okay. Well, let's just draw a box. So we do that by going line tx, ty to tx plus 30, ty plus 30. It's going to be black, and it's going to be a box fill. So we'll erase the old one, sorry. The old tx, the old ty, old tx, old ty. We'll erase it, and then we'll put it in the new one. And I think that's going to be a little better. The other thing I want to do is make this check to not be so precise. Let's take the absolute value of tx minus xx is less than 20. And the absolute value ty and yy is less than 20. And so that's going to give us just, yeah, anything in a 20 by 20 box is going to be considered a hit. I mean, we could even make this 5 just to be on the safe side. There we go. Okay. Now let's have a look. Yes, yes. Bring this guy up. We'll throw the star. Whoa. Well, things are better. I don't know why that magic guy is blinking so much, but oh, wow. A bunch of things are happening. Okay, well, I think we can honestly say I made it a lot worse. But regardless, that's okay. All right. I don't know. We have more combat scenarios. There's a Combat 4 we'll look at next time, but this one literally added the throwing star, but it took a bit of trigonometry to figure it out. And so I think it was worth it being a brand new version of this program. So, I mean, if you've never seen what I do here on Adventures in Old Code and think this is the junkiest piece of fill-in-the-blank game that I've ever seen, this isn't a game, okay? This is just stuff that my brother and I wrote in high school. That's it. This is just people goofing around. And I think stuff like this is awesome. So, okay, well, that's it. Thanks for joining me in this adventure in Old Code. Have a nice day, and we will see you next time.